wonderful good day, good evening, or whatever time it might be on your end. We're finally getting back to some Songs of Syx tonight, and let me do some last clicks. Then we're going to see how we can make that city bigger and more successful. I mean, I am still suffering from bad neighbors and, well, not enough everything. Ooh, it's a nasty little glitch there graphically. Anyways. Doesn't transport on the stream though. It's only on my video end. Hey Poet, welcome. Okay, so the real big problem that I got, which I hinted towards already, is the fact that our Amevia friends here, this wonderful looking charming Amevia, they really are true to their name and oh, look, it got fixed. Trade is not obscenely costly anymore. It was 500k the last time I checked. So yeah, seems like the problem got hard fixed now. So we only need 30,000 denarii. Nice. It's just started and good news already. Boya Tactics, hi there, welcome. Apart from that, the city is quite stable. Let's see how the food income is running. Things are looking quite stable, aren't they? We are net negative on our food, on our meat production, though, which is something I dislike. Porktown is quite okay, but not big enough already. So let's see, can we make more pastures happen? Obviously, there's the need for meat. So I'm farming over here, and let's keep ranching over here. Let's make another one happen here. I realized too late that if moisture level is 100%, you don't need to do anything extra on your pasture. It doesn't need any irrigation or such. This is only to increase if you put your areas into this direction here where there's no moisture as such. That would be then why you're doing this. So let's see, we are going to go for something that hosts a few more workers. 9.9. Come on, give me 10. Alright, good enough, I'd say. Gate goes this way. And we drop these bad boys down here. Okay. 10 more workers bound to this project, but it will be worth it, I'd say. The meat industry will be eventually really get problematic. Just like in real life. So, can you have multiple cities in this game? Yes, but only one that has a detailed map like this, Boya Tactics. The other cities you get a more rudimentary screen to build on. Procrastinator, eh? Well, I can't really relate to that. I can only understand that it takes a couple of swings to get into the game. I often have the problem that I need to restart games really a couple of times before I can get into it. Some of them have this issue more than others. That's at least how it works for me at some times. It took me 200 hours before I was able to even play a regular session of Dwarf Fortress. Could you believe that? But it's really like that. So sometimes learning just takes effing long. It's what I've tried to get down to. Well, you do a lot of empire building in the long run in this game, and I hope we will get this city to the point where we can demonstrate that a little bit. Alright. More pastures. That'll bind the majority of my remaining workforce, so let's see. My food clock is very positive, so we have no problem in authorizing the remaining aspiring immigrants right off the bat. I even have enough housing for these, so nothing bad happens directly out of that. I never played Pharaoh, Caesar, or Zeus directly. I only saw other people playing these. When I was getting my copies of them, these games have already aged not too well, and I didn't enjoy them too much. Sadly. But luckily there's modernized versions of these games now around, aren't they? I really feel like Songs of Syx is really scratching that itch quite decently. So, let's see. It'll take a while until these pastures will kick into production. So here we have no adult animals yet. Here they are all grown up. So we just founded 2 big new pastures that should do something in the long run. Very good. So, new housing projects. Just say it like that because housing is really a costly factor in the game, and we haven't even truly started yet. Endless Space is and the Endless games are a very good example too. They are so flippin' deep that it really takes a while. Trapped. Are you kidding me? I had no clue. Them poor boys, they are unable to squeeze through. Okay, let me rescue you folks. Here we go. Those rascals. These must be some really tall fences. Oh no, the livestock has been remounted now. Oh, what? I wonder if their growth timers have been reset too. We'll see about that. Anyways, I have a lot of cut stone being stockpiled now, and overall, the economy of Iconia is not the worst point. We have a nice fat quarry, also called a stone mine by the locals. Why would they do that? And yeah, let's see. How's the access to our services in general? Just want to know whether or not we need more food stalls. We could use a tad bit more. But overall, folks are pretty happy with the availability of things. Benches. Now, that is an easy fix. So, whoa, that's a big bench. So we're going to go for the good old triple bench. The bench behind the lavatory. Bench behind the stage. The bench behind the other lavatory. Spreading a couple of these will make the city much happier. Look, there's another lavatory. Okay. My dear human brother, they want to give me trade by themselves. MacTam, I am honored to take the offering. They want some of my resources, but that's okay. The worst dent in my economy will be the loaves of bread. But I mean, they only have fish over there. Give them some bread to go with the fish. Hooray! They've been looking at that, at me pandering around the trade button that long, and then they gave themselves a nudge. Listen to me, just enjoying my time too much here. Hope you guys had a nice evening too. I had a very, very good one, because I finally had time to introduce the newest story that I was making up for my Pathfinder pen and paper solo project. It's always nice as a DM when you get to unleash the story that you've been preparing for. This one was weeks. Good stuff. It's always leaves me with a storyteller's high. Can't describe it differently. Well, 40k is a genre that never really convinced me, but mostly because I found the marketing behind it really, really trashy. If I would see a good game, I would definitely always try it before I give it a impression. So far, Warhammer 3 was not really a producer that I really liked, and I don't know. I would try it. That's all I can say. It would be the first time that 40k would convince me, but I'm open to new things always. So, just decided that we need a little bit more water pressure on our canal network here. So, with our neighbors having opened up the trade that eagerly, we have now a much easier way of earning money. So, what happens? So we have production increase, but the health gets lower. Okay. Oh, I could have left them running and would have had the bonuses instead. See. They taste similar to Entelodons. Tastes like chicken. Tastes like Entelodon. I'm easy to please. So, yeah, it's the yearly grain shortage, the day before the harvest. Food clock is always going slightly negative. So, well, the benches can be upgraded? Seriously? Yes, they can. But how? I bet in the building menu there's a well, we'll see about that once I have researched it. I don't need to worry about it before. Okay. So I was just about to talk about trading. So let's go for some export depot. So we can sell away our excess lumber. I would assume that there is a tech for bench upgrading eventually, exactly. And for now, I don't worry about how to press that button until I have unlocked that button. So technically I should have way more grain than I can process. Practically, we'll see. So we are exporting. Let's see how this will work. Priority limit. Capacity stored. Okay. There we go. So everything that is too much in my warehouses will be now sold off. This is, to me personally, just good practice to just make sure that whatever we don't need anymore will get removed and turned into money. Let's see, do I need to do anything else? The vicinity isn't high enough, isn't it? So let's pump up the radius. They now have quite some walking to do, but that doesn't matter to me. It would have been smarter to drop this place down next to the thing, to the woodcutters. I know, 5 people died. The gore, the mayhem. Yeah, clay pit, man. Clay pit madness. Let's see if we have enough burial spots for these poor blokes. We do. So, I don't own Planetfall. If I would have Planetfall, I would do it, but I don't have it yet. I never asked the devs for keys for that. Maybe should. Hey Kondar, welcome. No, I didn't stop later. I want to I want to get deeper in this run, and I want to get to the Empire part, especially since v69 really baited me into the late game. And LDM, is the world persistent? No, not yet, not as far as I know. Each run, one world directly tied to the capital that you play. I haven't yet seen any way to make it differently. Bleeding out. Wow. So, are we burying these guys? Or do they just remain on the ground now? Nah, they're just taking their sweet time. Maybe I need another graveyard. That might be also the case. Clay Pit is geographically one of the most far away points from my graveyards that the city has available. That's been a lot of dead people. But luckily, Syxians are familiar with this. They know that people die, and they don't blame you for people dying. Accidents happen. They're just sad because people died. Can we now please move the corpses finally away? They're littering the city here. Yeah, slowpoke. Bury them. Ah, finally. The last one of them. Hey, look! My timber exports are filling my treasury. Nice. Okay. Let's see if the new pastures are already... Oh, not really. Okay. So, we'll need more of these sweet, sweet export stations. And we're also going to export livestock. How's the spoiling rate? Very high. That's why I want to sell them. So, livestock. Export workers will only when at least... Yeah, exactly like this. No good in letting the excess products of my pastures just go to waste in the warehouse. And now that we have a steady trade partnership, we can do a lot of magic. Whew, need so many workers. But we have enough grain production on paper to just hire some more bakers here. So let's see. If we crank it up like that, it's still net positive here, net positive there. Wonderful. I really love this game. Makes me happy on so many different ends. Well, let's see, what can we do next? Bloodsport. Fancy markets. Posh relief. Fight pit would definitely attract more people. But for the prisons we need knowledge. I see. So yeah, let's go for Bloodsport. That binds a lot of my innovation, but it's okay. So the fight pit luckily doesn't need any exotic resources anymore. I'm so happy that these things got changed in this manner. So let's drop the fight pit in this very, very unattractive area. Hey, Lishu. And hello, Pedrohorst. Yes, this is the newest version, version 69. Oh, I can only recommend to try to avoid perfection and try to go with the flow. And just what always helps me is when I look into reality, real cities aren't perfect either. Especially the medieval ones were just one house after another and people just built. And then they thought about how they puzzle things together. That whole city planning and such that happened way later, and it's for me a nice and nifty excuse to just play along the way I want to. Whew. So yeah, that's almost all of my food. But I don't care. It is not really hurting my economy in a substantial way, and the people in my city are very, very happy, and my food production is net positive. So currently, the rich traders we're just paying the trouble to go away. I did my best in terms of pronunciation. Alright, so 10 people are working at the fight pit. Wow. Let's see. That's a lot of people. Anyways, let's see. So humans aren't that much into blood sport in general, but they do like it. So city could use another stage, but until the need isn't higher, I don't go for it. Yeah, that's why I wasn't worried about it either, exactly. Ooh, we have a murder. We had enough food, I had enough grain in store. The next harvest isn't too far away. It's better to pay them off. We're so far away from training our own military. I really hope that I will get to the point this run that we will have a military that I can experiment with. My last experiences with combat in Songs of Syx, I think it was version 58. 11 versions ago. Then I tried out combat for real. I think I have to give it a chance at some point again. So, yeah. Once the food situation has eased itself out, we are going to expand the city a little bit more. Okay. Let's see. Food stall is here. Here's no food stall. Here's a food stall. Here's no food stall. Since I expect the mining business to grow only more and more, we're going to set up a food stall here, behind the export business. It's one of my favorite things about this game, that you can always freestyle things so nicely. It's still that it's still that wonky, yes. I just found the controls of the troops to be very, very weird, and since I only had super badly trained troops available at that point back then, I was only losing everything. I wasn't sure if I was controlling my troops wrong, or if they just sucked. In hindsight, I think the latter was the case. Okay. Yeah, giving them folks an extra food stall area here will help too. Let's see, upgrade of food stalls will require pottery. Can I make pottery already? Yes, I can. Definitely we'll break that up next. Because pottery is such a big money earner. So, how's the warehouse here? So we're going to add in pottery chests. Okay, something like that. Pottery will be needed later so much. we're better stocking up already. But for now, I just want to wait until my food clock is going positive again. People get quickly nervous if there's not enough food stockpiled. And I want to be prepared if disaster wants to strike once more. Alright, the new pastures are now working. Nice, nice. Since humans have meat also as their favorite food, I want a steady supply of that too. Good. I really do like that science now comes in such low numbers that you have much less fluctuation. This is a really nice new change to version 69 compared to the previous ones. I really like that. It's a lot of fun this way. Extreme temperatures. I am not worried. Okay, so now we have a huge amount of extra food, so it's gonna be very simple to expand now into more clay and then hopefully into pottery too. And I think it's safe to say that this area here will require its own infrastructure too. There's no lavatory back here. We need to change that. Oh, no, never mind me. There's one there. Okay, so I built up a very big housing area here. But I plan to use it. And once my wood industry is sturdy enough, I want to give my people some timber for their housing. This is very costly because it gives you a steady extra consumption rate of wood, but it is very helpful for the people to get that. And as you can see here, there's furniture and also pottery. Okay. APNA there. Well, we've had extortionists, we've had a big gory little accident here on the clay pit already, and we had a sudden strike of Emevia calling out Brotherhood and offering us a trade treaty, only to come back a year later to want us to pay their extortionists for them. So yeah, typical Syxian day. Happy to have you. We're going to go and crank up the clay production to the max now and see where that'll take us. Because it looked as if I was net negative already. Why is clay not getting stored anymore? Because there's nobody working at the warehouse for whatever reason. Okay. Hey, Lestu. It's the same guy from YouTube. I am sure it is. So happy to have you folks. I love this game. It always attracts so many nice people and is a good fun. Okay, we have now a big amount of housing. And yeah, that food production. That's good. But I am not too happy with my productivity of my clay. So, is there anything we can do about that? Or worse, do I even have tech running, or do I already have tech running and it's that bad? Basically. But yeah. It's 5 points of innovation, but I'll be paying them gladly right now. Because it upgrades my stone mines as well. Speaking about stone mines, time for more exports. Stone is something really fancy to export. Here I want a larger stockpile limitation though. There we go. Just interestingly enough, stone is even less worth than wood. But whatever. I really don't mind. Apian, no, that's the newest version of the tech tree. We're playing version 69, which is currently only playable as a beta version. If you want to opt in, it's free. Just need to right-click Songs of Syx in your Steam library and activate the beta version there. It's under Properties. And that's the most recent version of the tech tree now. We're working with much smaller numbers. Tech is created by laboratories that consume clay. And I would go as far as to say that tech was never as fun as it is now. It's just a little bit costly on the clay consumption. I think all people that I've been speaking with were with me that the clay consumption is a little bit over costly. But that's pretty much it. I want to have mushrooms because humans love them. Or don't they? Yes, that's why I want to have them. But I had planned to make the mushrooms happen on a province, probably. On the other hand, I have so much mountain here, I could make mushrooms grow there too. But I don't know how well it would work, because some crafts just are not really working well with the humans, if you get my idea. So, let's expand the clay pit. "52 workers. Okay, there we go. Because the clay income is really not high enough yet. Well, it is a steady source of confusion, don't you worry, Apian. I get that question basically on every stream and on every second of my new guides. So you're not alone if it confuses you. That's all I want to say. Alrighty. Now we can have a real huge amount of people working here. Good. So, 8 people working at the stage. Will. Apparently wondering a little bit what we could research and innovate to get more people into the city, but I think the answer is a little bit frustratingly easy. More science. So let's bring in 4 more scientists. And 4 more. Okay. That should get us somewhere. So, what do we have here? Embassy. No, thank you. Woodcutting. Yeah, that's something that we're definitely going to take at some point as well. But refined tastes, markets. Say, do we even have markets yet? I don't think we do. Now that is some extra bonus that we could apply to the entire city, don't we? Let's do this. That'll change a lot. I haven't really thought about mixing or not mixing populations yet, bless you. For some reason, I still want to have a monocultural population, but I do know that Dondorians and humans really play along nicely, and the game is also distributing your population very nicely according to their breaths and skills too. I haven't fully decided yet. Dondorians like fish. That's the only thing. So that does explain a lot. If we don't have markets, I am not too surprised that people are not flocking into my city anymore. So then we're going to add in a few more of these. The market right across the arena? Nah. This place doesn't have food stalls yet. Probably gotta change that too. So, the Dondorian times are here. What are my thoughts about progression at the moment? Well, I don't feel too much of a difference compared to before. I do enjoy the free tech points that we got. That is the most important thing that crossed my attention span so far. But I mean, with almost 400 people, we are just basically beginning. But yeah. Jorge, hi there. 1,100 people, hell yeah. Hey, David. Whee! All the cool, good people are coming together here. I have no real combat experience. I'm very sorry about that. I know a lot of things about this game, but not much about combat. Yet. I wanted to dip into it again, this version or such. Or as soon as the game is complete-ish. That was always my verdict, basically. So let's get in 10 more clay diggers and get us some more excess production. And it's time to get that pottery thing going. I want to set it up here. Why not? I think this will be already more than I can probably staff out, so let's do a small scale production there. Yeah, 17 people, that will be already more than enough. I mean, you can always go bigger than that, obviously, but I still have to get that far power gaming wise that I need to worry about that. Why shouldn't I waste space with the stalls? The space that I have free in between, especially this one for example, I'll be putting decorations in between. The free rooms here are bringing people movement room. I always am very generous with space. I don't feel the urge to compactify until there is a good reason to compactify. Then you might as well though redesign these areas as well. There we go. How's the food clock? It's still positive. So, tell me, Harry Potter, how's the life in the pottery? So, the pottery, thankfully enough, doesn't eat any wood to fire up the pottery, and we are actually net positive still. Hooray! So I am now an apprentice, and we can now go for an embassy. I got some sweet innovation and knowledge for free, and we are now a real city. The thing with the asylums I have also experienced, people are just, when they are going mentally ill, they'll eventually die off. Yes, same experience there. I think I still have to transition successfully from a immigration city to a nursery city myself once. I really don't know how that works yet. And since Jake keeps changing up things quite regularly, I love him for doing that. I still don't know what is going to be different this time. But it's a good call that you don't build potters until like 2000 population. I can sell that stuff so well. It's a source of income. At least that's my first and foremost thought here about that. But currently the markets obviously are drawing that stuff like crazy too. I don't mind them. So, I mean, isn't the brewery still drawing pottery? Yes, they are. But they also require coal. Well, for starters, we're just going to transform that into denarii. And let's see. I was wondering the other day. They got a region. Oh, it's just 40 million? Okay. If it's not more than that, I'll buy that the other day. Right now, I don't have enough spare change in my wallet. But don't sell it to somebody else. I'll be getting there soon. Yeah, so we're going to go directly for an export depot now. I like having lots of money, because you can also pay off extortionists much easier like that. Oh, houses yet again. One of the things that I would wish for most is some innovation in the housing area. I really grow tired of ploppering around these long houses like that. I wish we had apartment blocks or other meaningful ways and means to organize our citizenship, if you get the idea. I'm afraid so, Kadros, yeah. I mean, usually I take my first provinces via mercenaries. Usually. Yeah, those gears are really something else. Everything metal is insanely valuable, but also gotta say, it also is a very fuel-intense industry. And usually, I love to produce the pottery to sell it off until I transition into the taverns. And while it was in previous versions almost impossible to have enough products for booze or enough booze production for the city, I never grow tired of trying. 71 bucks each. No, that's not bad. Okay. That's a lot of tech. Nice. So, the thing that I wanted most here were prisons. I'm not quite sure if I want the execution as well. But for starters, let's have a prison. Because that really spreads a lot of happiness. Medieval people. Oh, we got a prison now. Good times. Cedric, we are safe now. Or something like that. Why Cedric? I don't know. I felt like it would be a Cedric. So, let's see. I think for a small city like mine, this is enough of a prison. We can also now set up an import depot to make sure we always have enough metal available. There we go. I see that I have a feeling that you are playing this game a little bit more than me, Dondorian times. Right. Let's see. An accident at the bakery. Again? Jeez. Ah well. Luckily the dead people from the other day have already all decayed. So, there's that. So, import. We're going to import metal, and I want a base value like that. There we go. So... now that we have guards and a dungeon, what could possibly go wrong? Now a ton of people want to join the city again. Well, we gotta do something about our food income soon. So let's see. The mini bakeries, they need to go eventually, I think. So I still have a nice amount of food, grain available there. So I will be simply putting up another one of these bakeries here. Yeah, physician is a good point. Oh, I have that sometimes too, that I love to flee into a virtual environment if I have pressing matters at hand that I don't want to or can't complete. Can totally relate. Six is certainly a good game to keep the mind occupied with things that are less pointy than knowledge. Can't totally relate. I always feel like one of the best things you can do in situations like these is what you are doing, sharing it with other people. Because then it stops being a waste of time and starts being an entertainment for more people than just you. And that's when we start generating a net positive. To me personally, at least that is the case. So let's add in a few more woodcutters, because we obviously have a little bit extra capacity here left, which we will need once this new bakery is going. So for starters, stop. Don't have enough grain for 18 bakers. Well, let's see. Maybe it is enough for 8. Sort of. All right. Timber production could be better, just like I thought. All right. Let's expand here. I want more than just a few more workers. Here we go. And that's gonna be that. Hey, X19, yeah. Well, procrastination is such a negative word. I feel like the world nowadays is so overwhelming in terms of workload. Sometimes you just need to flee a little bit and unwind yourself before you can do your things again. Harry Druid, the comparison to Banished is really proper, but this is a several dimensions bigger than Banished. It's an empire building at the empire builder at the end of the day. Well, Jake gave you alpha access. Wow, that means you're really around here since a long time, much longer than me, and I'm already around since a pretty long time. And why are my carpenters not carpenting? Tell me, carpenter. Can't we, No. Okay. So, I do know that we can find it like that, though. So... they're just not... just not getting it done in time. Alright. Then all's fine. Alright, only 6 odd jobbers left, but for now that's okay. Get well soon. I hate ankle injuries and stuff like that. Because I love to walk and be mobile in general. Always bothers me to be not able to walk and prance around the way that I want to. Okay, so we got not much of a grain production left, so let's start building yet another grain farm. Let's take it there. So, a drought. I don't care about droughts. Okay. That should be fine. 12 more people getting a job there. Version 67, that's not alpha. That was the whole early access, or whatever version it was. But I'm glad you're around and making mods. It's really cool. I don't have any tech savviness of that sort on my own end. But I always love when people bring this stuff up. There we go. Probably need to spread the irrigation a little bit further here. This has been upgraded so nicely. Now you see how the water will spread more fertility by just dragging and dropping. It's so nice. I really love that. So, harvest day. Alright. Then don't take my compliments. I have tried. Okay, so I thought it was 11 people, not 12 people. So there we go. Still net positive on the meat production, at least something. And I want to have now a graveyard on the upper end of the city, just because I want to be offering some logistically easier accessible area. So I need to make it like this, otherwise I will be forever bothered. So, 2 employees. I don't think that I will get the necessary respect on this small area there. So, graveyard design, always one of the most intricate things that I do. Let's give it some trees here on this end. And a couple of flower beds. We could squeeze in a couple of extra graves here, no doubt. So, okay, combined experience will be applied until 1,000 employees. Okay. Oops. Okay. A slaver, no thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. Alrighty. Well, we got ourselves 100 people further than yet the last time. That's a good start, I'd say. Let's see, what can we unlock now? So, fancy markets and refined tastes. I do have the pottery that these require, so that would be an option. Posh relief, well, would lead to healthcare, would lead to the physician, so I think this is a necessary evil. Raiding? That's a new screen? Okay. We now have a wanted list or something like that. Yagus. Funny thing that you mentioned it. I was already considering that as the next thing now that I have money to pay me metal. But I always go for torches only after my economy is a little bit stable, because the torches, they require you to invest metal not only for the building, but also after it has been built. So, but now is a pretty good time to do this. We finally have a steady import, and yeah. It'll also make people very, very happy. Wait a sec. They don't cost metal anymore? Okay, forget what I said. My knowledge is no longer on time. That's a very, very nice change. That's a very, very, very nice change. Previous versions, it was much more costly to install light. And this is how games get better over time. Okay. Let's leave it like that. Yeah, I'm very happy that I got the recommendation here. Thanks, guys. Okay. Good news, I don't need to worry about food for a while now. Let's get ourselves some more timber here. Tell you what, I'm going to go and max it out there. Okay, so what do we need for the prettier lavatories? There it is. So that upgrade would cost me only things that I got. Nice. So next step, we're going to upgrade our carpenters. Or, well, upgrade is the wrong word. Increase the amount of carpenters. Okay, so with extra torches, I think we'll easily get way more new people into the city. So, let's get some extra living area. And I think I want to expand here big time now. Just realized that with more furniture we can do a lot of magic. Let's do it like that. And currently we really just need more timber. With more timber we can also start more bakeries, so it's just a very, very good situation for us together. Yeah, I have a couple of benches already. People are already chilling out on them. I find it a pretty proper change that they are now services instead of decorations. One could argue that they are a little bit of both, but yeah. Okay. So we're going to stockpile now until we got ourselves a little bit of extra carpenters, furnitures. Wow, 6 points of furniture go into maintenance. That's brutal. Wow. Hey, Paperboy. Yeah, well, I've been late myself too, so don't you worry. I also don't know how much longer I will make it. I wanted to start a little bit earlier, but the call of pen and paper was too strong. Okay, so healthcare and physicians are now still a bit away. So one moment there were still people wanting to come into my city. A second later, somebody got murdered, and for some reason, nobody wanted to go here anymore. Odd, isn't it? Well, that's a little bit sad because I just wanted to get myself a couple of extra workers, but whatever. I don't really get any furniture into my stockpiles. That bothers me. I bet it's all in the markets by now. That should stop eventually, right? Let's fast forward a little bit and see what the economy will do now. So I don't agree with that one. I find that a terrible waste of material, in all honesty. Go back to the warehouse hence you came from. Whence you came from. Okay. Better. Much better. Didn't lower the amount of maintenance that we do, but yeah. Oh, jeez. Okay, fresh workers and fresh woodcutters. That is a very, very high increase here, but I also just noticed that I want to upgrade my my furniture production big time too. Because if my current production is mostly getting disposed by maintenance, we need more than that. Okay, let's see. Can we afford this entire place? Oh. Definitely can't worker-wise. But we can timber-wise. Okay. Well, I don't actually want to employ that many carpenters. I do want to give my folks some access to wood now, though. Let's see. That doesn't do much of a cost increase so far. Let's see how bad it'll get. You see that the expenditure for furniture goes constantly up because now people are constantly grabbing timber for their homes. I am curious to see where this development will plateau. Oh, the criminal has appeared. Looks like I haven't had enough lanterns here. So the drain for furniture doesn't stop so far? Yeah, I have a lot of people that I could recruit right now, but I don't want to because my housing is not withstanding that. Okay. Let's go for the third pip one more time and see. So, we are not going to go for any confessions gained via torture. Not on my watch. So, haven't I built an export depot somewhere? We already configured that one. Okay. This is an import one. And here we need another export one. For, you wouldn't believe it, but finally furniture. Okay. Very, very valuable stuff. And that's where I call it a day for today. I'm way too tired to go on. So, thanks a lot everybody for the good company, and I hope you enjoyed the stay. Thanks for being around, and yeah, hope you come again, and have a good time, good day, whatever. See you there.